Hi, lovelies, welcome back. So, I'm going to talk about dreams this week, and I don't mean the dreams that we have and chase and go after. I don't mean it in that way. I literally mean what we think when we sleep. Because I've noticed something kind of weird with me lately, which is my dreams have been getting more and more weird, but my experience of the dream, meaning my relationship to it, the kind of how much it irks me, uh, has been getting more and more whatever. And so the reason I think this is important to bring up in a video is because to me it points to the kind of the two dimensions that this conversation happens in and a common misunderstanding we have about it. So the common misunderstanding is before coming into this conversation with the principles, we're kind of taught if you want your life to get better, you have to have better thoughts and feelings. Like there's a direct one-to-one between you have more happy, positive thoughts, you feel more happy and positive. And so people are chasing positive experiences and trying to avoid negative experiences and trying to kind of push away or fix or change the negative thoughts in order to have a better overall experience of life. And this is what the whole self-help industry tells us. It's like, you have this thought, that thought sucks, change it from this thought. Reframe, and all of that. So essentially, when we're in this conversation, we're looking deeper than that. We're not looking at take this thought, change it to this, or try to get all of these thoughts in your life and try not to get these thoughts in your life. We're looking at what is your relationship to thought? Thought in general, thought as a principle, thought as this bigger spiritual energy that works in all of us. What is your relationship to that? How do you relate to your mind? Not what's on your mind, but how do you relate to your mind? Do you treat your mind like it's something or someone that is absolutely always telling the truth and that everything they say has to be respected and listened to and acted upon, and they are the utmost authority about what is true and accurate and factual? Is that the relationship we have with it? Because if so, we're going to suffer and not do too well. And the reason is because our minds are neurotic and crazy and utterly bullshit a lot of the time. So it would be, and excuse whoever I'm offending by saying this analogy, but it would be like if we took Donald Trump's tweets seriously. It would be like he's obviously completely deranged, but it would be as if we thought that he was wise and smart and intelligent and kind of just had our best interests at heart. If somebody approached his tweets like that, like, oh, Donald Trump tweeted, therefore it must be true, accurate, kind, loving, wise, all helpful, all knowing, that would be absolute utter chaos. But, and I'm not saying that some people in the world, like even as I use this example, I'm like, actually there's some people who take what he says as truth. But the vast majority of us are smart enough to know better. The vast majority of us, if you're watching this video, if you're in this conversation, I am going to bet that you are one of the 99% of people that doesn't actually take what he says seriously. But that's kind of what it would be like if we took everything that our mind said seriously. Our minds can all be like Donald Trump's tweets at times. They can be absolutely no basis in reality, completely just made up bullshit, completely just not real, not factual, no basis in reality, literally just like plucked from the imagination. And if we don't know that, we will treat it as if it's true, accurate, factual, helpful. And when we do that, we suffer. Like in real life, when people take Donald Trump's tweets seriously, we get a lot of chaos. Have you seen the States lately? But in a very kind of bigger, broader sense, it's not the content, it's the relationship to the content. So, and I realize that even using, this could be controversial. Maybe I'm going to get a lot of hate in this video for suggesting this, but I truly and honestly believe that it's not the content, it's our relationship to it, in both our minds and in actual real life. Because in actual real life, a mad person like Donald Trump can spit all of the insane, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, racist things that they want to. And if nobody's taking that seriously and nobody's taking it as truth, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, if our relationship collectively, and I'm saying that in my opinion, and this is, not as not really, I think, what I'm not speaking on the record of what the principals say. This is just Shannon Cooper's own opinion. I think most of us are smart enough to know that what he tweets is bullshit, but not all of us. But if we collectively across the board, if everybody just realized, oh, this is just a complete crazy person, disregard it, then it wouldn't matter what craziness he kept saying, because we would disregard it. It's the same as with our minds. Like, I'm not trying to get you to have better thinking. I don't care if your mind says crazy stuff. My mind says crazy stuff. Our minds, as human minds, say crazy stuff. That's what they do. But to have a relationship to it where it doesn't matter that my mind is off. It doesn't matter if my mind has no basis in reality. It is often la la land and is completely not to be trusted, not to be relied on. Because guess what? My relationship to it is not one that I'm trusting and relying on everything it says. And that's the difference. That's the key difference that makes a difference. It's not changing the content, but changing the relationship to the content. So the reason this comes back to dreams is because my dreams lately have been weird and kind of scary and kind of wacky. Like, I had a dream where somebody from my high school locked me in a culinary school and tried to kill me with a knife. And then the following night, I had a dream that somebody from a summer camp I went to as a kid was trying to kind of trap us in some canoes. Like, all of these weird dreams. But what I'm noticing more and more is that even when I'm in the dream and things are kind of weird and scary and sometimes even threatening to my life, there's this kind of weird sense that on some level I kind of know it's a dream, because I'm not actually that freaked out and panicked. I think in real life, if today somebody locked me in a culinary school and chased me around with a knife, I don't think I would be that zen and calm about it as I am in my dreams. But in my dreams, I'm pretty zen and calm about all these weird and wacky things. And that's pointing directly to my relationship to it. I think even though my sleeping mind goes crazy places and thinks up crazy scenarios and crazy dreams and crazy whatever, on some deeper level, I know that I don't have to listen to that. I don't have to take that seriously. I don't have to take that as truth. I don't have to relate to that in a way that has me think that that's real and solid and factual. So I've been having really weird dreams, but I've been waking up in the morning without the kind of completely being drenched in sweat, completely being all that adrenaline coursing through my body. I've just been kind of like waking up and being like, oh, that's kind of weird, and shaking it off. The same way that if I have weird thoughts during the day, like if I, just thinking of a recent tweet, but when Donald Trump tweeted something about how the moon and Mars, I forget what it is because I try to stay away from the news as much as possible, but something that has no basis in reality, such as the moon was on Mars, or Mars is in the moon, or we went to Mars, or something like that. And I remember thinking to myself, like, well, that's clearly just made up bullshit. But if we know it's made up bullshit, what does it matter? What does it matter? I have crazy dreams. What does it matter if they're just crazy dreams? It matters when we have a relationship to it that says it's true, it's real, it's factual, it's important, it's meaningful. So the same way that I've been noticing more and more that my dreams have gotten weirder, but my relationship to it is more like, whatever. Like, that's cool. Okay, cool. I had a dream of being chased around a culinary school. I might have a little bit of adrenaline. I might have a little bit of a strange feeling and wonder, I haven't even talked to that person in 5 years. Why did they come up in my dreams? But my overall relationship to it is one of just letting it do its thing and having my hands off the steering wheel. And if we all collectively, like, let's say everybody in the world had that relationship to Donald Trump's tweets, where it was like this clearly crazy person who has no basis in reality most of the time, who kind of lives in this alternate universe that isn't actually the universe that we live in. Well, he could continue to say crazy stuff, and it wouldn't matter because all of us are not taking what he says seriously. We're not listening. We're not paying attention. We're not retweeting it. We're not commenting on it. We're not liking it. We're not sharing it. This is what I mean by not paying attention. If we treated our mind the way most of us, and again, not all, I realize that, yes, I like to think that people watching these videos are awake enough to this person's craziness, but maybe I'm wrong. And maybe I'm going to get hate for this. Like I said, I don't know. But to me, it's a really kind of relevant example of like, it doesn't matter how bizarre somebody's tweets become. It matters whether we're paying attention to it, having it come up on our feed, liking it, retweeting it, sharing it, fighting against it, commenting on it, telling other people about it. Like, it's what we do with it. It's how we relate to it that matters. It's not its presence in the world. So, all in all, without getting too off topic and too political, all in all, I really want you to see this is what I mean by the two different dimensions. There's the dimension that says we need the content to be better. We need the tweets to be better. We need the thoughts to be better. We need our dreams to be better. And then there's the other line that says, who the fuck cares what craziness our minds come up with and what craziness people like Donald Trump come up with? Because if our relationship to it is just, that's BS, it doesn't deserve my attention, then guess what? We tend to experience a lot more ease, a lot more grace, a lot more free-flowingness, a lot more just kind of not caring about how neurotic our minds can be at times. And when we take it on ourselves to really care and really, pay a lot of attention to it and listen to it and fight it and control it and get to the nitty-gritty and analyze our dreams and retweet crazy tweets and all of that stuff, like, no wonder we're going to get more stuck in our experience. No wonder we're going to suffer more. No wonder we're going to feel like my mind is taking control of me instead of my mind is just this thing that can go and talk and tell its stories and tell its craziness and tell us that the moon is on Mars, and who really cares in the end? So hopefully you guys found this helpful. Hopefully you guys know that I wasn't meaning to offend anyone. If you are a Donald Trump supporter, that's your prerogative. But I hope that we can all kind of come together with the love and the goodness that we are and just really see that there's something so much bigger and so much deeper here than our ideas, our thoughts, the content of our thoughts, our dreams, our tweets. All of that is on a different level than what is fundamentally beneath it and below it. So, sending you guys lots of love. As always, I love hearing from you guys. Please comment or ask questions below, video recommendations, anything. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back with you next week. Take care. Be well. Bye.